Yep, and sure enough, we're already hooked up, guys. Yep, another one.
That was crazy.
What's going on, guys? Noah Sanford here, back on Lake Mead once again. It is about 11 o'clock right now. I just wrapped up with a guided trip this morning. I've been out here since dark, and I decided to come back out here for maybe another hour or two and film a little fishing video for you guys. I had a lot of fun doing it the other day. I kind of miss filming these like old school fishing videos, how we started this like a year ago on the channel. Just me coming out here by myself and doing some good old bass fishing here on Lake Mead. So I want to keep up with it as much as I can. I don't have much going on this afternoon, so I figured, you know what, I'm already out here, just dropped the clients off. Might as well come back out here and do an hour or two of fishing by myself. So here we are. I like this cove that we started out in. I'm already seeing, I'm not sure how well you can see that, but there's a ton of birds back there already. I'll see if I can get a shot of it in a minute, but there's cranes, there's herons, there's actually seagulls, and I think I even saw a pelican back there. So there's a lot of bait-eating birds in this cove, and I'm seeing striper boils as we speak. So where there's stripers, that means there's bait, and where there's bait, that means there's largemouth and smallmouth. So we're gonna get fishing, gonna throw some shad imitating baits around. We'll see if we can get something hooked. Let's go. That was so cool. I saw this whole school of them out here on the live scope. These fish are chewing bait right now. That's a fun bite. Striper on the A-rig. Pretty cool. Yep, and sure enough, we're already hooked up, guys. That didn't take long. First cast on the A-rig. Oh, you could just come out here and have a heyday with these things. There he is. There you go. Let's see if we can get hooked up back-to-back casts. I'm gonna say yes. Oh, instantly, guys, as soon as it hit the freaking water. Oh my goodness. As soon as it hit the water. That is so much fun. Oh, they're going crazy over it right now. I might get a double up right here. Goodness gracious, man. Ooh, pretty decent one right here, guys. That thing's probably pushing 3 pounds, I bet. All right, all right, all right. So much fun, guys. Yep, another one. It's like every cast with these stripers, guys. This is unbelievable. But you know, when you get them in a feeding frenzy like this, it really, oh, well, quick release. As long as it's flashy and it looks like bait fish, they're gonna annihilate it. So, man, these things keep tearing at my A-rig though. I'm having to like mess with it every cast. They keep just shredding this thing. So what happened there, guys, is I was panning around on the live scope, and as you can see here, all these dots out here, that's a striper right there, that's a striper, those are stripers sitting on the bottom. Apologize for the glare, but you'll see as I pan around here, all these fish out here, boom, 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 boom. Those are all stripers that are kind of sitting out in the middle of this cove here, just pushing this bait ball around. And so all of these dots out here swimming around, those are all stripers, but some of them could be bass too. See all those down there? A lot of those are probably stripers, but a lot of the times when you run into these schools of stripers, the bass will mix in. For example, this morning, I'll pop a picture in right here. My client and I were catching a bunch of these stripers, and then all of a sudden, he caught one of these on a popper. So that goes to show you that just because there's stripers around, it doesn't mean there's not bass around. In fact, it's usually the exact opposite. When you find a school of stripers like this out here, usually you're gonna find some bass as well. That was crazy. That was wild. There's a little green one. So since that just happened, I'll go ahead and tell you guys what's going on. So when I was back here about 15 minutes ago, I noticed probably close to, if not a 4-pound or so largemouth just hanging out right in kind of the back of this little shallow area back here. And so what I did was I quickly headed out of this area and rigged up a Senko here. So I'm just fishing this little Senko on this offset weedless hook. And basically, you know, my thought process was, if I leave this fish alone, I didn't spook it, maybe I can get out of here, tie on what I want to use, and then slowly come back in here. I've got the power poles down right behind me, and, you know, come in here nice and stealthy, maybe I'd have a shot at that fish. And when I was throwing that Senko back there a couple casts in, I was just winding it back super quick, and that little fish ate it like it was a topwater, so that was crazy. But a lot of the times, guys, if you see a big fish in an area like that and you don't spook it, you can pull off, rig up what you think you want to try and use to catch it, and come back in closer to that area nice and stealthy. And sometimes you can get those fish to bite, because a big fish like that, I mean, honestly, especially the largemouth, any largemouth over 2.5 or 3 pounds, they're super territorial on Lake Mead specifically and in general, but definitely on this lake. And so You know, I've even had days guiding or in a tournament where I see a big fish, or I miss a big fish one day. I come back to the same little area or a piece of structure or wherever it was hanging out, and that fish is still there, and sometimes you can even catch it the next day, because those bigger fish, they're really territorial. And so since I saw a big one back here in this small little area, I knew it wasn't going to go anywhere. So decided to put that Senko on, come back in here super stealthy, and that wasn't really the one we're going after, but I'm going to make a few more casts back here before giving up on this big fish and see if we can maybe get lucky and hook it. That giant school of bait that's just hanging out back here. Occasionally those fish will push it out to the mouth of the cove, and then you get those striper boils and everything else, but this right here is exactly why there's so much life in this area. There's a fish. There's a green one. Or maybe a brown one, I'm not sure. No, I think it's a brown one. There we go, guys. Little high noon keeper bass right here. Not a giant, but a little 13-incher, and sure enough, he ate that Senko all right. So like I was saying, guys, this is just one of those bass that are living back here in the shallows, feeding on this bait. And you see his gut? He's nice and healthy, so he's feeding on this bait. Another one. Oh, he's throwing all my swim baits. Cut it out, man. There he is, guys. Another one on the A-rig. Just rolling it out here deep. It's actually just cutting across to a different cove over here, and there's this little offshore point out here, and there's a little school of stripers on the scope. I rolled the A-rig past them. A couple casts, they were a little finicky, but after a few casts, I got this one to commit to it. Too much fun. Got another. Man, striper fishing with live scope feels like cheating. It's just too easy when you got it. Oh, quick release. Makes it easy for me. I am just fine with that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is getting hot out here. I've been out here since dark and I'm getting pretty hungry, so I think that is where we are going to call it for today. We absolutely tore up the stripers in the last hour or two. I think I caught like probably about a dozen stripers. I'm not sure how many I'll put in there because a lot of the catches are probably going to look the exact same, but got most of them on the A-rig or a little swim bait, so obviously those stripers are keyed in on that little bait fish just like the bass are. Then I was able to scoop up a couple green and brown bass as well along the way in the backs of those coves, also where the bait is. So goes to show you guys, fall fishing, it truly is all about finding that bait. And once you find that bait, you're not only going to find the stripers, but the largemouth and the smallmouth too. So get out there, go fishing. If you have not been fishing in areas with bait, that's probably why you haven't been catching fish, if you're wondering why you haven't been catching fish. So if you go out there and find the bait, guys, you're going to find the bass. I promise you. And this is picture proof right here. But anyways, guys, my name's Noah Sanford. Appreciate you guys always tuning in. As always, we'll see you guys out on the water. Peace.